Right, so I review a lot of tech and therefore a lot of phones, and every once in a while a phone comes into the studio which makes me stop and think for a second. How have the manufacturers actually done this? How have they managed to make this phone, gorgeous design, full of a glut ton of features, top specs, and at such a lowly price? How are they making any profit here? And that's my exact thinking with the Honor 70. Starting from just £479, plus I might add a free pair of Honor truly wireless earbuds worth £169, I think this phone is almost too good for the fee. Before we go over some of the drawbacks, some of the potential cutbacks that they've made in order to bring that price down, let's go over some of its features that wouldn't be uncommon on a premium flagship phone. Firstly, the design. It's absolutely gorgeous. The rear panel is apparently meant to be a visual interpretation of light radiating over diamonds, and to be honest, they're not far off. And the dual rear camera design is inspired by luxury jewellery, so they're definitely targeting that premium expensive mindset. But that's not... Ow. Smash my elbow on the desk. Oh. They're not my favourite parts to the design. That trophy goes to its sheer slenderness. It's so sleek at just 7.91mm thick, and it only weighs 179 grams. It reminds me of the Samsung S10 Plus from a few years ago, which was one of my favourite phones to hold in the hand. Incredibly light, razor thin, but still feeling very solid and premium, and that's exactly what you've got here. If you're not a fan of this crystal silver colour, there are 3 other colours to choose from, all of which I like, which again is very rare in a series of phone. There's usually one colour that I don't like. Now you will notice the curve to the rear, raunchy, but we also have curves to the front 6.67-inch 120Hz OLED display, which has ultra slim bezels, supports HDR10+, and over 1 billion colours for some serious content immersion. Now if you are going to be sinking into movies or a touch of gaming, the Honor 70 has an industry-leading PWM dimming of 1920Hz, which in layman's terms means the screen actually helps to minimise eye strain when the lighting environment changes around you. The Honor 70 also has a 300Hz touch sampling rate for less input lag when gaming, and yes, the Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G Plus chipset inside isn't the 8 Plus Gen 1 or the latest A Bionic. It's a really strong piece of hardware. It's only really the serious tech enthusiasts out there that would possibly want to go for the very highest chipset. The performance of mid-range phones now has gotten so good that I could easily see myself using one as my daily driver in a lot of circumstances, and I think I tweeted that the other day. And certainly if I were advising people, especially in the current climate, especially those who don't have the budget for a $1,000 plus smartphone, then this is a perfect example of something I might recommend. I think sometimes in the tech industry we forget that 95% of all people buying a new phone just want to scroll through a bit of social media, do a few emails, a bit of light gaming, and a few snaps on the camera. And this does all of the above with 0 issues. And speaking of camera, the Honor 70 has a world's first, but also a potentially a key admission depending on who you are, which might be a deal breaker for you. The main wide lens is a 54-megapixel super sensing Sony IMX800 sensor, Honor being one of the first companies to use it in a phone. And this helps to enhance light sensitivity and low light performance to deliver really nice vibrant pictures with great clarity even in darker settings. On top of that, you also have another kind of main lens in the form of the 50-megapixel ultra-wide, which has that really high megapixel count, so that compared to a lot of other smartphones on the market, including a lot of premium flagships, you're getting great sharpness and detail even in your ultra-wide angle shots as well. And if you wanted to crop in, again, the detail between that and a phone with 60-megapixel and 8-megapixel ultra-wide would be pretty noticeable. And you can use that ultra-wide as a macro as well. So it ticks a lot of boxes. One area that it doesn't tick a box, which I would like to possibly see, probably cost is the reason why it's not there, a telephoto lens with optical zoom, because the third lens is a depth sensor. So this will come down to you for £479. How important is a telephoto lens for you? Because you do have 10 times digital zoom, so you can punch in, the details just won't be quite as sharp as a lens with optical zoom. Now, on top of all this wonderful camera hardware, there's a couple of quirky software features which are really interesting as well, like multi-video, using video from both the rear and the front-facing 32 megapixel sensor, story, which adds filters and transitions automatically to recent captures, and solo cut, which can track one person within a group using the AI autofocus, and they're just a few to name a few. To name a few of them, 3. Brain fart. Now, if you don't think this video has been fart so far, subscribe would be absolutely lovely. If you are going to be using the camera for long periods to create all of your content masterpieces, you'll be pleased to know that we have a 4800 mAh battery inside, which should be enough to get the job done and get you through the day. 4800 isn't the largest we've seen in smartphones over the last couple of years, but again, for a phone as sleek as this, its capacity is mightily impressive. On top of that, you get a 66 watt charger in the box, which gives you a full day's power in just under half an hour. And then there's software. The phone is running with Honor's Magic UI 6.1 based on Android 12, and it's clean, slick, and fluid, with some really useful features. Firstly, of course, you have Google Play services, and the Google Play Store for all of your apps. Then you have the interestingly named Yo-Yo suggestions that recommend apps to you that you've been using in the recent past that you may want to go on to next. And multi-window for some serious split-screen multitasking, and you have Honor Share. This makes file sharing between your phone and an Honor tablet or laptop like the just launched MagicBook 14. Great laptop, by the way, again for the price. Video coming soon on that. It makes using the devices and transferring files between really seamless, and it's great if you want to create this new sort of Honor ecosystem. Now, a couple of possible areas the Honor 70 could be improved. Number one is in the speaker department. While it's not terrible, it's pretty loud and pretty pleasant on the ears. Obviously, because it is only a single bottom firing one, it would be nice to see stereo speakers, and it could have wireless charging, which it currently does not. This affects me less. I'm not as sold on wireless charging still. I tend to often, even on phones that have wireless charging, I still tend to use a plug-in one. It just tends to charge quicker. But you might. But also remember the price. Currently, you can have the Honor 70 and a pair of Honor Earbuds 3 Pro for just £479 all in, which technically makes the Honor 70, if my maths is correct, around £310, which is utter madness. The value here is insane. That's it for now. Any questions you have, let me know in the comment section below. I will try my best to answer them. Subscribe and click the bell if you want to be notified when I post more videos on Honor or tech in general, and follow me on my other social medias for breaking tech news, banter, and some juicy giveaways. Go and check them out. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. Safe, peace out.